make a lot of mistakes and learn from it, especially funny mistakes, strange mistakes, bizarre mistakes. Would you really care to make mistakes intentionally and learn from it? Nobody does that, but definitely we all make mistakes. And how can you learn better from those mistakes? I'll help you out and stay tuned. None of us intentionally like to make funny mistakes, weird mistakes, and learn from it. But do you know that when you make such mistakes, things register better in your mind? None of us actually like making weird mistakes. Intentionally, we don't do it. Learnings from such mistakes register better in your mind. I'll give you examples, don't worry. Welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Rini Rose Matthew. I have this flashcard in my hand, but I don't have such words on it. How to register idioms in your mind. I know many people tell me, ma'am, I'm not able to remember the idioms. I'm not able to remember phrases. What should be done for that? It's okay, because when you get used to a new language, you may not necessarily remember everything, and that's not your problem. Sometimes you may not even remember everything just like that because you're getting used to a new language, which is totally okay, but there are some tricks. Okay, I wouldn't call it tips, but these are tricks that will help you remember, because when you make funny mistakes, especially blunders unintentionally, nobody does it intentionally, things register better. So next time if you blurt out something and if somebody corrects you, it's okay. If you have a good co-learner or a mentor who can really correct you without being judgmental, that will also help you. Now I have almost 6 idioms, and I did not know the meaning of these idioms. These are not phrases, but these are English idioms. I'll tell you what exactly happened. So here you can see I am writing down the idioms. I got these from books, from different articles, and I've just taken note of it. Even before referring to the idioms, I knew that I'll not remember this. Just like you, I will also not remember idioms. I'm very bad at remembering the context, the contextual meaning of idioms. So first I thought of guessing the meanings. So here you can see that I am writing down the meanings that come to my mind. Remember, I don't know the meaning of these idioms. I just don't know, but I'm just guessing the meanings. I'm assuming it from the contextual part, from the place where I read it. So if you ask me, ma'am, do you really remember from where you read it? The exact lines, never. I don't remember anything, but I just tried guessing the meaning. And I have this in my hand. I've written the idioms, okay, and then I've written the meaning in pencil. Of course, random writing. So I don't want to show this card to you, but this is what I have done. I have written down the idioms in one color, in brown color ink, and then I have written down the guessed meanings, okay, the guessed meanings in pencil. After that, I'm going to cross check. So this will help me remember both the mistakes and the correct meaning. So this is what you can do. First, you find out 6 idioms. Don't go for 12 and 15 and 14. Be kind to yourself. Select 6 idioms, write it down, the ones that are really interesting. You don't have to remember the context from where you read it, not necessary. But after that, you guess the meaning. So this is what I did, the first one. So I'll tell you what I guessed and the correct meaning, okay? The first one is know your onions. Know your onions. Yes, there is an idiom. Maybe you know the meaning. If you know the meaning, you can just keep it in your mind. Or you can comment and tell me, yes ma'am, I knew the meaning of these many idioms. I didn't know the meaning of know your onions. My guesswork was know yourself, maybe know your identity, know your credentials. Like you should know who you are and for what you're living, the kind of initial purpose that you're here for before doing something. But actually the meaning is know that. Know your onions mean, so here I haven't got it correct. I just said know yourself. It's not actually know yourself. It's to be updated, just like know your stuff, in the sense you need to have some information, be knowledgeable about something before speaking about it, or even before writing it out. Okay, so you need to have some information, be knowledgeable before writing out things or even speaking about it. So just being knowledgeable, just being updated, that is the meaning. Know your onions is just like know your stuff. Okay, so that was maybe partially correct. The next one,
cloak and dagger.
I'm shooting outdoors. You will get to hear so many other sounds because it's a Sunday morning, and please don't mind because the audio is really clear. I have checked that.
Cloak and dagger.
Any idea?
Dagger is this, and cloak is what you wear, what you put on.
But what is the connection? You know that idioms will not have the literal meaning. You should really know how to use it. And the biggest problem is you will not be able to know the contextual meanings initially. And even after reading it twice, thrice, have you come across this situation where you may not completely register? You'll not be able to register the meaning. And the beauty of using idioms is to know where to use it and how to use it. You don't have to go into the depths. The only thing is you have to put it in the right place. For that you should know the meaning. Okay, the second thing is you should know how to exactly place it in a sentence, because there are no perfect standard rules. It's all about how you structure your sentences. I'll give you sentences, don't worry. I'll tell you what I wrote. I wrote being very choosy. When you have too many options, you're very choosy, you're very particular. Actually, that's not the answer. I'll give a sentence before giving you the answer. Just try guessing the meaning. Okay, this is also another step that you can add to it if you want. This particular novel, okay, just imagine that I have a novel here, a detective novel,
has many cloak and dagger subplots.
and you will love it. Try reading it. It means mysterious, intriguing, something that can put in lot of adventure, interest, and suspicion sometimes in some contexts. So that's the meaning of
Cloak and dagger.
That's good, right? Okay, the next one. Reap the whirlwind. Reap the whirlwind. Whirlwind? This is whirlwind. So what is the meaning of reap the whirlwind? I'll tell you what I wrote down. I wrote, learn from mistakes. So just learning from the mistakes means when you have hard phases in your life, when you go through difficult times, you will learn from the mistakes. You will learn from the difficult parts and phases of your life. It's just like learning from the most difficult situations of your life, from your hardship or even from your mistakes. So I'll give the sentence. He had to reap the whirlwind, especially after that difficult incident. So here you have the sentence, okay? That is to reap the whirlwind. Somebody reaps the whirlwind, especially after a particular incident, for all that he did, for all that he has been into. Okay, anyway, that's another context. But I wrote learn from mistakes, learn from hardships, learn from difficult situations. The actual meaning is to face the consequences, to pay or to even reap the consequences of anything that you do. Specifically something stupid, something that can really pull you down or be dangerous. So when you get into things that can be troublesome, that's chaotic, you definitely will have to reap the consequences. So it's just like reap the whirlwind. Whirlwind is not something that's pleasant. It can definitely put you in danger. It can be hazardous also to life. So you reap the consequences of everything that you do, especially when something is done in an unpleasant or without planning, without thinking, and when things are dangerous. Okay, when you put yourself in a very messy situation, you have to reap the consequences. So he had to reap the consequences. He had to reap the whirlwind after that incident, and then maybe because of that he did not like to socialize with people. So that's another context that I would like to give you, okay, in connection to reap the whirlwind. It's just like reap the consequences, especially in an unpleasant or unfavorable situation. Okay, the next one, hot under the collar. So I wrote suffocating, embarrassed, not very comfortable. This is not completely correct. I'll give the example. As soon as he was given the feedback, he became hot under the collar. You can also look at the sentence over here, hot under the collar. I am typing the sentence out on the screen so that you'll be able to read it and then understand it better. So look at the sentence. Can you guess the meaning now? I said suffocating, embarrassment, not very comfortable. Actually, it is resentment, being angry. Especially when you're embarrassed, you can be angry. There is another context, another layer to it, but it's actually being angry, being embarrassed, hot under the collar. Of course, you become uncomfortable because of anger, but whatever I've written is not the exact meaning. So you need to know the exact meaning so that you can use it in your sentences. Okay, the next one, icing on the cake, frosting on the cake. So it can be icing on the cake or frosting on the cake. Come on, you will know the meaning of this, and I have the sentence here. So she was very happy with her new job, but her 12-year-old daughter was the icing on the cake, or the activities of her 12-year-old daughter was like the icing on the cake. The activities and the chirpy behavior of her 12-year-old daughter was a real icing on the cake. Yeah, it means soothing, pleasant, something that's an add-on, something that adds to the situation to soothe it, to cool it down. Okay, so this is something that's very familiar to everyone. The last one is razzle dazzle. So I wrote being showy. Yeah, I wrote being showy or glittering around. That's what I've written. So look at this. So you have the sentence there. I would like you to read it aloud because that really helps. And it really means to have a showy behavior, showcasing certain things. So today we learned the English language not to show your attitude and to show your language skills. It's only for your own improvement. Gone are the days when people used to think that learning a new language is only to showcase your skills, or English is the language of the intelligent people, or it can also be that English is a showy language. It is an ordinary language, but a beautiful, rich language with its own unique complexities, I should say, with its own unique rhythm, modulation, rules, and after all, literature. Okay. So these were the idioms that I picked from books and from newspapers. So let's recap. The first thing you have to do is you pick 6 or 7 idioms. Go for 5 initially or 6, and after that you write down your guessed meanings in pencil. If you want, you can go for sentences, but before that the best thing is to write down the guessed meanings, and you should be very true to yourself when you do this. You can't cheat, okay? And then after that you can look up Google, or you can check this idiom phrases dictionary. That's what I meant in the beginning. You can check the idiom phrases dictionary, and then after that compare the answers. It's not to pull you down, it's not to make fun of yourself, but things will register better. You can use all these idioms to create a situation. This is what I did. So here you're going to take the idioms again after understanding the meanings. You don't have to go into the details. Here it's all about being creative and also putting in meaning and context, your own context, okay? With the help of the idioms, you are creating a short story or a kind of situation which will really be beneficial. Try this out, and next time whenever you make mistakes, funny mistakes, or if you blurt out something in front of people, you don't have to really bother about the feedback they give if it's not constructive, but remember that you learn better when you make mistakes, and for that it's important to experiment and explore with more techniques. The purpose of this activity was to help you actually learn from those mistakes, to help you register the idioms in your mind in a better way using a trick. And remember, the sentences were given at the bottom of the screen to help you read aloud. So I presume that you have read the sentences aloud, guessed the meaning, and then listened to the actual meaning. Hope you like this activity. Don't take the help of any AI tools, just believe in your ability. Happy learning.